in the market right now, the word which has been coming up is privacy by design. What does that mean for you? And is there a clear definition for that?
Yeah, a few thoughts there. I think first, right, it means really strong collaboration between the privacy team or the compliance team or the risk team and the folks who are actually building the products. So whether that's the product managers, the directors of engineering, or whoever's really driving the product roadmap within the organization, right, needs to be coming to and getting input from and really be tight with the folks who are responsible for sort of the overall privacy or risk posture of the organization. And the product roadmap needs to have sort of notion of privacy or ethics, right, imbued throughout it. I think that oftentimes this starts, especially at smaller organizations, with culture, right? That initially what you really want is you want product managers, right, to be thinking about privacy, to always have that in the back of their mind, to be, right, trying to develop features themselves, right, new features, new services, new products themselves with privacy in mind, but also knowing when they need to come back to the privacy team and escalate and get feedback. As an organization grows, culture is still very important, but oftentimes is not enough, right? As you scale, it's harder to have that sort of one-on-one touch point. It's much easier to do when you have 6 product managers than when you have 60 who you're working with. And so that's when you want to start to think about how you can systematize privacy by design and build additional process in and leverage tools that are out there in the market to, right, interact with the product roadmap, whether it's being built in Jira or elsewhere, right, to basically build process so that way those escalation points become clearer.
Walk through an example of where you implemented a privacy by design principle, which maybe recently or a while back, which you look back and say, thank God I did that sooner rather than waiting for it. Like, walk through an example from your current or prior jobs.
Here, let me think about this one for a second. Let me think about one that I want to say publicly.
So privacy by design, while you think about it. So privacy by design, I think what you're saying, and basically what another way to put it is, be thoughtful about how data is being stored, how it's being used. Be extremely thoughtful about what customer data you're gathering, you're capturing, you're storing, and not disposing. That's another piece, and how quickly you're disposing off of it, because that's a piece people often miss around. If you're getting data, never unload that data. That is creates a much bigger onus down the road. So having a policy around disposition of data, deleting old data is usually pretty good, but having a data ownership in the organization, even if it's one person initially, that goes a long way up around privacy by design, where at least there's a person in charge where who you can look up to as an organization, or a product manager. It could be the product manager who is the data owner in this case initially, that, okay, I own this data. If this is going somewhere, is being used for any analytic purposes, marketing purposes, or just for my own reporting purposes, I need to be aware of it, what that data is being used for.